Hey guys, happy 2021. I am so stoked to be back doing my videos for you guys. I love sharing my tips, tricks, and recipes in the kitchen and the home, always with an emphasis on preparation, as you guys know, because preparation just helps make our lives so much easier, so much less stressful, and I'm all about that. In this video, I'm going to show you guys my zucchini walnut bread. I did an Instagram stories with my zucchini walnut bread when I made it with my daughter, and you guys have been asking for the recipe, and I'm really excited to share this with you because it's a staple in my house. I make it all the time. I love this, and once you make it, it stays good on your counter for about 4 days. All you have to do is slice it, pop it in the oven whenever you want to have a slice, and it is so yummy. Put a little bit of melted butter on there, a little sea salt. It's amazing. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 350, and then this recipe actually makes 2 loaves. So what we want to do is we're going to butter 2 loaf pans, and then we're going to line it with a little bit of parchment paper, and it makes it super easy to get out later. And when I'm making this with my kid, this is like, whenever I'm baking, I always like to give some safe jobs for her to do so she feels like she's helping me bake, and I feel it's really important for her to feel comfortable in the kitchen. So with the age that she's at, something like rubbing butter in the pans and little things like that are nice jobs for her to do, and they're safe. Okay, so now we're going to cut this parchment paper to fit these loaf pans. So I usually do it just long ways, and then I'll just turn the sides down. This one could actually be a little bit thinner, but it's okay. You guys get the idea. And so later, when it's baked, you just lift that out. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other one. And you want to, like, once the paper's in there, you want to press it down so it's like, you know, stuck in there. Okay, let's do the next one. See? Perfect. So these are all ready to go. So once the batter is done, we're just going to pour it right in here and pop it in the oven. Okay, so now we're going to get the batter made, which is actually really easy. So I always like to have a healthy twist, even though it's zucchini walnut, which is awesome. All the flours and stuff, I like to add in things like millet flour, buckwheat flour. I like to add flaxseed whenever I can to give like a nice healthy twist to it. So this has all of that. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to get 1.5 to 2 cups of grated zucchini. So this is about a cup. I already got a head start on it. And I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So cut the zucchini in half. Thumb just in the belly of the spoon. And then we're just going to scrape out. I've showed you guys this before. And then I always like having a clean cutting board. So it's my little food scrap bag. And then grater. So these 2 should be exactly the right amount. I love zucchini walnut bread. I like that you feel like you're having a treat, but my recipe, I feel like it's healthy enough while it still, you know, feels like a treat, which is great. And my kid loves it. My baby's obviously too young to eat it, but my daughter loves it. Okay, that's a perfect amount. So I'm gonna keep this little zucchini nub because this is a perfect amount to slice up and make for my daughter's vegetable for dinner. First thing we wanna do is, these are the sugars. So this is, I have my little list over here. So this is my recipe. I have my sugar. I'm going to write this down for you guys so you don't have to, you know, memorize this. I'm going to put it in the comments below. But this is 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of dark sugar, 1/4 cup of honey, and then 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I always like to use maple syrup and honey instead of just regular sugar whenever I can. In this recipe, it works great. So I do that to help cut down on the granulated sugar. Then this is oils, 1/2 cup of canola oil, of organic canola oil, and 1/2 cup of organic olive oil. And then we're going to mix up 3 eggs, and then we're going to add the zucchini in with all this stuff. And then we're going to add our dry ingredients. Okay, so this is just the eggs. So I always like doing my wet ingredients and then my dry ingredients and then mixing them together after. That's just how I was taught, and it seems to work really well. Okay, so what you want to do is we're going to add our zucchini in with our sweet stuff here. So this is just the zucchini being mixed in with all of these, the sugars and the oils. Because I've tried it different ways. I've tried it where I just add the zucchini in, at the end once I have the wet and dry ingredients mixed together. But I feel like when I mix the zucchini in with the sugars in the beginning and the oil with the maple syrup and honey, it just tastes better. And the zucchini is dispersed better in the bread. Okay, I'm gonna add in my eggs. Okay, so now we're gonna fold in our dry ingredients. So this is a cup of gluten-free flour. This is half a cup of millet flour. I also used buckwheat flour. I'm gluten-free, so I love buckwheat flour. Millet flour. This is also some salt, baking soda, baking powder, some cinnamon, and ground ginger. Ground ginger is awesome. It adds such an awesome little kick to this. It's really mild, but I just love it. I'm really into using ground ginger right now. So now I'm just gonna mix these up. My whisk. And then I'm gonna blend all this together. We're gonna add our walnuts and some vanilla, and then we're ready to throw it into the tin. It's so easy. Okay, so now we're gonna mix this all together. You don't wanna over mix it. You gotta put a little elbow grease in there. Okay, so that is all mixed. Now we're gonna add in a cup of chopped walnuts. So another thing I like to do that's really easy, and this is also a job I give my kid when we're baking together, just put your walnuts in a bag and then just let them do this job. It's great. And I don't have to worry about her cutting herself or anything. And it's a really easy trick to get your chopped walnuts. Okay, so we want a cup of these, so let's see how much this is. This actually should be pretty perfect here. Great. Yeah, that's awesome. That'll look great. So now we're just going to add this in. Then we're going to add our 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And then these are ready to go into the tin. Yay. Get this all mixed up here. So you want to mix it just until you think everything is combined. And then that's all you want to do. You don't want to overmix it. And then we're going to pour it into the loaf. So now what we're going to do is divide this batter equally in the pans and then pop it in the oven and then bake it for 1 hour and then test it. Now every oven is different. In my oven, in an hour, this is usually baked. So maybe to be safe, you can check it after like 50 minutes, but usually it takes an hour. Okay, and you just want to make sure these are even. This is another job that my daughter loves helping me with, is filling the tins. Another safe job for her to do, because she always wants to be in the kitchen, which I love. And now my son always wants to be in the kitchen too. He's always crawling in here when I'm cooking, so it's like constantly like having to make sure he's safe and keep him out of the kitchen, but do what we can. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So now we're gonna pop these in the oven. These have been baking for an hour. So look at this incredible thing with the parchment paper. I mean, look at just, sorry, the family already got to this one, but it lifts straight out. See how awesome that is? So now I'm gonna take a piece of the one the family already got to. So here's what I like to do is have a slice with a little bit of butter and some of my sea salt. So let's cut a little slice. Okay, so a little bit of butter. Also, when you heat this up, so in the morning what I do is I put my oven on 200. I take a thick slice and I'll heat up slices for about 5 minutes at 200. A little bit of butter and sea salt. So good. So good. Oh my gosh. So now I'm gonna put this in a container and just leave it on my counter. And every morning or throughout the day, cut a slice, pop it in the oven for 5 minutes. And it's great. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you know when I put up another one. And I'll see you guys next time.